Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps, and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I have a ship with me video. I actually want to show you guys what sold over the weekend, and I want to talk to you guys about how much it sold for, how much I paid, and how much I actually profited, and all the fun things. But my gross profit is $573.37, and then my net profit is $435.22. I made 15 sales on Poshmark, 9 on eBay, and then 1 on Mercari. All right, so the first thing is actually this Good American like button-down shirt. It is very thick knit, so I don't know what they were thinking, but it feels kind of like a jacket, like I guess it would be a shacket, right? But it's very, very thick. It's really good quality as well, and I was actually able to find this at the bins. Like, I was actually really shocked. And if you guys watch my reseller vlog, y'all know the behind the scenes on this. Where's my trash can? So yeah, like I said, I got this from the bins. This didn't take long to sell at all. I didn't list it as soon as I got it, only because I had to get the cigarette smell out of it, and I waited a good like week and a half before I actually end up doing it. So I did let them sit aside for a while, but I eventually did it, and I was happy that I got a extra large. So Good American actually does vanity sizing, and this one is technically like a large, extra large, because I believe the number is like a 3 or a 4. But yeah, so I was actually really happy about this sale due to the fact that I've never picked up Good American that was not a pair of jeans. So it was a nice sale, and I would pick it up again if I saw it. This actually sold for $33. Now, my bot sent them an offer. I believe I had it listed at $45. So when they sent them that offer, they actually accepted it, and I paid 97 cents. And I made a total of $23.41 after fees and cost of goods, which I think is pretty good, to say that this was a really fast flip. Like, I want to say it was listed, I want to say maybe like a good 2 days before, you know, somebody came in and snagged it up. So I guess my viewpoint on picking up Good American that is not denim, I probably need to change that and start picking it up because it clearly is selling. All right, so the next one is this Jordan jacket. This actually is a youth jacket, and of course I got this one from the bins. I've been noticing that Jordan, even kids, sell a lot better for me. Jordan is kind of, I want to say, there with Nike a little bit, but I decided to go ahead and take a chance on this one just because I had a lot of luck with this particular brand. And I was just like, you know, it's $1, let me test it out. And I'm pretty glad I did, because this one took maybe like, I want to say a little over a month to actually sell. My bot did send them an offer, and they accepted the offer, and it sold at $21. And this item got a lot of attention on all platforms, especially Mercari. Mercari is like the mecca of all children clothing. So if you have a lot of children's clothing and you want to like sell it quickly, I would say sell it on you know, Mercari. But yeah, so this one sold for $21, and I paid $1 for it at the bins. So I made a profit of $13.78 after fees and cost of goods. Okay, so the next one is actually this Banana Republic sweater. This one just says j'adore on it, I want to say. Pick this up at the bins. I guess that's gonna be the running thing. I think it's everything I picked up at the bins today, but I'll most likely still tell y'all that I picked it up at the bins. But got this one. I thought it looked really nice. I don't try to pick up Banana Republic too often. It has to be something special about it, just because it is a mall brand, and I just don't want to have too much of it in my closet. So I try to be really, really picky when it comes to this brand. And since I think this one has either a merino wool or the fabric just has something, you know, going for it, that was the reason why I picked it up. But yeah, so this one actually sold for $13, and I paid $1.06 for it, and I made a measly profit of $6.97. Hear me out. So this one had been listed for a very long time. It had to have been over maybe 6 months. So I initially had it at like maybe $25, and then I noticed that it just wasn't selling that quickly, so I put the price at $18. And since I do a 25% off on Poshmark, it'll always send them that generated, you know, $13 offer with $2 discount on shipping, and that's what ended up happening. Banana Republic is like a great filler brand, but I don't know if I would continue to pick it up past this point unless it's just something really unique about it. So just moving forward, I'm done with it. This is Adriana 𝕃𝕊. I actually recently hauled this in my Goodwill bins haul, and this brand kind of turned me off with its dresses just because they don't perform like how I just assumed that they performed about all the resellers kind of talking about this particular brand and the dresses. So when I didn't have luck with it, I was just like, but since this was a larger size, I thought the style was just so pretty and I wanted to take a chance on it, and I'm glad I did because it did get a lot of attention initially, which lets me know that this was a good item to pick up. So now I know that this is not on my shit list anymore and I can start kind of experimenting with this brand a little bit more outside of the dresses. But it was just a really pretty blouse, and it was a satin style, kind of real sultry, you know, and it sold within what, like 2 weeks. So pretty good flip there. So this one sold for $21 and I paid $1.34 for it, and I made a profit of $13.44 after fees and cost of goods. These are a pair of 𝕊𝕌𝕄𝕝 pants. Now I picked these up, I want to say maybe about 7 or 8 months ago, during the time where I was picking up things strictly off of comps. So if you are new, comps are you checking items and seeing if they are selling. So at this time, I would go on eBay, I would type in the brand name. Sometimes I would even go as far as typing in the style. So I would just put 𝕊𝕌𝕄𝕝 pants, and then I see that 4 of them sold, or however many sold. I don't think I even checked on how many sold, but I see that they did sell, and they sold for, let's say, 15, 20 bucks. So then I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get that because it sells. And that is where I messed up at. So I quickly got out of that. I want to say April-ish is when I stopped just picking up everything just because, you know, it sells, and I started picking it up because the sell-through rate was a little bit better. So in May is when I really just kind of turned my business to a better business, if you will, as far as like making sure that the sell-through rate is there and not just picking up any and everything just because it is cheap. This one was really fun. So this is actually an item that of course I picked up from the bins, and it was kind of like an all season situation. I just thought that it was so dope, so that was the reason why I picked it up. And one of my followers, so if you're watching, hey girl, hey, she messaged me and she let me know that she loved my channel, and she really loved this sweater for her daughter, I believe, and she wanted to get it because her daughter is a teacher, I want to say. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So damn, wow, so embarrassing. So she went on and sent me an offer. I think I told her to like just send me an offer because I knew I had it priced up. But I did that intentionally only because I wanted to get a decent amount for it, because like this is a one-of-a-kind situation, you know. Some sweaters are one-of-a-kind and some of them can be duplicated. And since you can tell this had to been like, you know, hand stitched, I wanted to make sure I got a decent amount. And she sent me a $36 offer, which I thought was incredibly reasonable. So I went on and accepted it, and we got this one out the door. This one did take a while, but I know that I picked this one up kind of like off season, and that's why I kind of already changed my mind when it comes to picking up seasonal items and not listing them in the wrong season. I actually have another item here that I listed it in the wrong season, and of course it got attention, but nobody needed it at that moment, so it sat and sat and sat. And I feel like that's what kind of happened with this one a little bit, but I think that's completely okay because I end up getting a good return on investment. But I feel like if I would have listed it like today, it probably would have sold within a few weeks. So that's pretty much my little mindset on that. So she paid $36. She sent me that offer, and I paid $1.01 for it. And I made a profit of $27.79 after fees and cost of goods, which I love. These are just a pair of shorts. These are Nike shorts. These are the ones where if you fold them, they are a different color, which I thought is pretty cool. And that was the only reason why I picked them up. Nike is just one of those brands where it is very much so a miss every single time. You might get lucky, you know, maybe 1 out of 10 pieces, but I knew going in that I wasn't going to get that much for these, so that's why I did price them you know, at a lower price. And the way that I have it set up on my Poshmark account is that I make a profit, generally a $8 profit. So if I send out offers and I'm not going to be making an $8 profit on it, it doesn't send that offer to them. So some items are like actually priced, you know, like $10 or $12 or whatever. And if somebody sends me an offer, then it's different. But to just outright, you know, have an item where I'll send out an offer and I'm profiting anything under that is a no-go. And I feel like in the future, once I phase out these bad quality items, I'll be able to kind of maybe bump that up to like $15, where it's not sending out a offer unless I'm gonna profit $15 from it. So there's that. But anyways, so these sold for $15, which was my full asking price, and I paid 90 cents for them. And I actually made a profit of $9.08 after fees and cost of goods, which, you know, what do you really expect with Nike? Okay, this is a Madewell sweater. I've had this for a very long time. I want to say that I either got this over the summer or in the spring, but I've had it for a while. And I have to say that it was a sitter, and for some reason I knew that it was going to sell quick. I assumed it was going to sell quick, but it absolutely did not. Y'all, they're actually building the pool in the backyard, so if y'all hear construction, just know that's what it is. This one sold for $20. I think I had it listed at $35 or somewhere there, and they sent me a $20 offer, and I quickly accepted it just because this one had been sitting for a while. So I accepted that offer. I paid $1.22 and I made a profit of $14.78. Like I told y'all before, this one had been listed at least over 8-9 months at this point. So I was happy to see it go, because y'all know Madewell has really slowed down in a way that it's not even worth picking up at the Vans anymore. This is a somewhat new to me brand. The brand is called Mango. I just thought this top looked really nice and just very holiday-y, if you will, and I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And this one didn't take long to sell, definitely under a month, and I'm actually happy that this one sold as quickly as it did. It didn't sell for a lot, but it was still a good quick flip. And this one sold for $16 and I paid $1 for it, and I made a profit of $9.78. This one was kind of like a new without tag situation. It still had like that tie on the tag to let me know that it was new without tag. So I definitely did put that in the title, and I think that did help sell it. It is a brand that, you know, I don't pick up too often. I think I only have like one item listed from this brand, and that one gets a lot of attention, but it just will not sell. But that's a whole nother story. All right, so these are some Under Armour pants. These are like their golfing pants. This brand, I have really just, you know, been 10 toes down with picking it up every single time I find it. I think at one point I never picked up Under Armour, like absolutely ever. And then I was watching a YouTuber, and he had a few things that sold from this brand. He even talked about the best things that sell with this brand. So I said, you know what? I'm at the Vans. I'm picking up low tier items anyway, so let me just test it out. And I'm so happy I did, because I noticed that all of the children item sales, all of the men item sales. Now, some of the stuff do take, you know, maybe 4 or 5 months to sell, but they do sell. And I know that everybody has like a different viewpoint on, you know, the timing of items. I personally, like I told y'all before, I like when items sell in under a month. Get in, get out. I love that. But if I need to sit on it for, you know, 3 to 4 months, I'm also okay with that. And that's essentially what happened with these. These probably sat, I want to say maybe a little under 6 weeks. I want to say, because I feel like I don't remember hauling them, so they couldn't be here that long. I don't know, y'all. I can't remember. I have so much stuff. But Under Armour, I think personally, if you look at the item specifically when you are searching comp, then you can make that decision on whether or not you want to take it home or not. But for me, it's at the bins. If I can make a decent amount from it, I'll go ahead and get it. So these are actually listed at $24, and then they sent me an $18 offer. I accepted it because I thought that was still very reasonable. I paid $1 for them, and then I made a profit of $13.40. All right, so the next thing is actually this Press Box Alabama sweatshirt. I know I'm not a fan of football, but I know that football is in and everybody loves it. And I believe this is a college team. And I picked it up. I thought it was still, you know, a decent item to grab because I've been picking up all different types of teams. I'm gonna be honest. I literally don't care. I'll pick them all up. But since this one was a decent one, I did search comps and stuff. I did a little bit of research, and I noticed that this one was actually selling online for like $40. So I didn't want to price it too high because, you know, if something is selling and maybe it's sold out, then okay, maybe you could. But if something is still selling on the website, you just got to be mindful of that. So I take that into account. So I had this one listed at, I want to say 32, and I sent them an offer. I can do something else. I sent them a offer. I guess my bot did. You already know the drill. My Posture VA bot sent them an offer. They accepted it. So it sold at $24. I paid 97 cents for it, and I made a profit of $16.21 after fees and cost of goods. And I think that's pretty decent. Like, I don't know. I don't know anything about football, but I'll pick up the items when I see them. So this is a brand called Winter Kale. I actually found this, of course, at the bins, and it had very bad pit stains, and I was just like, oh my god, how did I miss this? And I had to treat it or whatever, and it ended up working. The pit stains came out, but I didn't list it high because I noticed that the comps on this brand just weren't there. I do believe it was sold at Anthropologie, or at least that's what some of the items that I did see that sold, they had Anthropologie in the tag, which could have also been very misleading. So I think I must have put Anthropologie as well. But I think that's what helped the item get eyes on it, to be completely honest with you. And the fact that it was 100% silk, that also most likely helped it sell. Probably could have held out for a little bit more, but I have really worked on not being emotionally attached to items or feeling like, oh no, if I can just wait around for another month, I probably can get an extra $5. It's never that serious anymore. Like, I really don't even care. But this one sold for $16, and I paid 98 cents for it, and then I made a profit of $9.80 after fees and cost of goods. All right, this is a Domino's jacket. I bet y'all are like, what the hell? It is kind of like a soft shell situation, kind of giving me like a North Face vibe. I picked this one up because I was watching a YouTuber. I bet y'all like, girl, how many times you gonna say that? But I was watching a YouTuber, and he talked about how company, you know, stuff sells. And I started to pick it up because I do see it a little bit more. And I noticed that the FedEx item that I had picked up, it sold fairly quickly. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and test this out. Pick this up. I did check comps and the sell-through rate. The sell-through rate is actually over 100%. So I was shocked about that. So it was like 30 listed and like 36 sold. So I was just like, oh yeah, I'm getting this. Now this one did sit for 2 months, but if you know any better, when you check the sell-through rate, it's 90 days, you know? So this could have sold in another month, but it still would have sold in under 3 months. And that is the goal when you do pick up things. But my bot sent them an offer because I think I had it priced at like $35 or something. I sent them that $22 offer, and I paid $1 for it, so I made a profit of $14.58. And this actually is not the only Domino's item that sold, which is crazy to think. So I'm wondering, like, why did both of my Domino's items sell this week, and specifically, you know? All right, so this is actually just a college item. The school is called SMU, and I believe that that is here in Texas. And yeah, it's a Champion Eco quarter zip. I picked it up because it was in a pretty decent condition, and I did look into like college items, and yeah, I thought that this one was gonna do good. I picked up Baylor's, which is also a Texas school. What else did I pick up? I think I picked up like LSU before, which is in Louisiana, and it sold. So I think that it's kind of smart to just kind of test these type of things out, because you know the kids are in school and they want to rep their college and all of that. So it's just a good idea to pick it up when you find it. And I was happy that I did, because this one got a lot of attention on all platforms, which I thought was crazy. And I didn't know, you know, if maybe I had it priced at like a not the best price point, and that's why it was sitting. But this one eventually sold on Poshmark, and I had it priced, I want to say at 25 or 24, I want to say. Maybe it's 24, because my box sent them an offer for $16, and I only paid 89 cents for it. So I made a profit of $9.89 off of this. All right, so this is actually the last Poshmark sale, and these are just a pair of Nike joggers. I picked these up because I feel like Nike fleece does so much better than anything in this brand, and I got it from the bins. Now, unfortunately, this one was flawed, and of course I showed it in photos and mentioned it, so I knew that I wasn't going to get that much for it. So I priced it at $28 because I expected to get about $15 to, you know, $20 for it. All right, so this one actually sold for $21, and I paid 98 cents, and I made a profit of $15.82 after fees and cost of goods. That's actually really good for Nikes, honestly. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's not really a brand that I really care about. More of a bread and butter, a good filler item. These are a pair of Under Armour leggings or tights or whatever you want to call it. These are for men. And like I told y'all before, men items in Under Armour as well as children items, they sell really well. Now, these actually were picked up, I want to say maybe a week or two ago. So these sold quicker than the last pair that I remember picking up. But these were a extra large, and I think that played the biggest toll. Luckily for me, I actually picked up 2 of these. So the bins came out, and the people didn't really, like, you know, make everybody stand to the side. So the people that typically run to the new bins, they weren't even like in position, you know, because the people just started pulling the clothes out while people were still right by their area, if that makes any sense. So nobody assumed anything. So when they walked off, they said, y'all can just, you know, go. They didn't even make it a whole big spectacle. So what ended up happening was, once they did that, I look back and I see everybody like digging through shit, and I was like, let me just go over there. Like, there's not even a lot of people here. So I went over there, and I was able to find 2 of these, an LL Bean jacket, an LL Bean fleece, and something else I can't remember, but it was a pretty good moment, honestly. So yeah, so this one sold for $10.39. I put in $1.19, so I made a profit of $8.35 off of men's leggings. So there's that. This was a new to me brand. It's called Rodier. Honestly, I don't know how this sold for the price point that it did, because this is actually a really good brand, and I know for a fact I could have got more from it. So I guess that's my fault for pricing it the way that I did, but it did sell on an offer. So they paid $21.22. I paid $1.20, and I made a profit of $17.86. So I most likely dropped the price to, you know, bring in the attention that it was supposed to get. And here we are selling for $21. I know for a fact this should have sold at least for about $35 to $40, but you know, you win some, you lose some, and that's a-okay. All right, so this one is actually a Polo Ralph Lauren jacket. This brand has definitely declined for me, and I started to find luck with it, I want to say in the wintertime last year. And I was just picking up literally everything because it was selling, and I noticed that it just slowly stopped selling. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I didn't want to just stop picking it up because I do see it a lot at the bins. So I started to be like, you know what, I'll just vet the item a little bit more. I'll actually check the sell-through rate on this, and if it sells well, then I'll get it. If it doesn't, then I won't. And I started to do that and just be a little bit more pickier with the items that I was picking up, and it's been working. So I do have some things that I did pick up, you know, before I decided that that are still here. But from here on out, you know, I pick up things that I know for a fact are gonna sell in under those 90 days. And this was actually a good pickup due to the fact that it was vintage and it was a larger size. And I think that that is something good to always take into account, the size and the vintage of it. I know a lot of people don't really care about vintage. Some people do. and this was the silver, you know, color. I know if you see the one that is yellow, that is more up to date. But yeah, so this one actually sold for $33.98. I did pay $1.14 for it, and I made a profit of $28.76 after fees and cost of goods. And I actually like that, you know. You can't beat these type of flips. $1 make almost $30. We love that. So what I try to do when it comes to eBay, I actually try to put everything as like priority with a envelope, because that is going to be the cheapest for the buyers, unless it's like a pair of shoes and I need to put it in a box that I already have from the free supplies that I get. That is the only time it'll be over that, you know, $10 mark. This one I'm probably going to have to package off camera, because I'm going to have to like squeeze this thick ass jacket into a poly mailer, and my largest poly mailer is not that big. Y'all just saw it, and I'm like slacking. But yeah, so this is actually a G.H. Bass & Co. like Sherpa jacket. It is corduroy, full zip, all the bells and whistles. When I initially found this at the bins, I said that I was going to list it high, because I got this over the summer. And I was like, I know that this is going to sell well, because I checked comps and I checked the sell-through rate. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to do great. But I need to make sure that I don't list it too low. And then, of course, it ends up getting relisted. And then the price is getting dropped and all the things. So I said that I'm actually not going to do that. So I listed it really high for that exact reason. And I'm actually glad I did, because I still got a good price point from it. Probably, of course, I listed at like, I want to say $50 something, and I knew I wasn't going to get that, but I knew for a fact I was going to get about $30 for it, and that was the goal, honestly. This one sold for $27.98. I paid $1.09 for it, and I made a profit of $23.74. Okay, so the next one is this Princess Polly top. Yeah, just a cute little crop top situation. This is a brand where I kind of feel like, if I see it, I'll pick it up. If it's something cute, I'll pick it up. I wouldn't pick up like a basic or anything from this brand. And I knew when I found this that this was definitely out of season. But I was just like, you know, I don't mind sitting on it. It's a cute little top. And I didn't list it that high because Princess Polly, I believe, is like a fast fashion brand. So it doesn't really sell for that much to begin with. So I didn't want to price it that high, because I have to take into account like it is out of season and the fact that, you know, it is a fast fashion brand. So let's price it decently so it can actually sell. So I did send out offers on eBay and they accepted the offer. So this top actually sold for $14.38. I paid 98 cents. So I made a total profit of $11.76 after fees and cost of goods, which, you know, is a running gag here. As long as I make $10 off the item, I'm okay with it, you know. This is the highlight of today's, you know, ship with me. It is this Tucker-Nuck, I think, sweater dress. The fact that this was found at the bins was just wild to me. Like, who gave this up? And if you guys watch my recent vlog, y'all know that I was talking about those items, like I just told y'all with the Good American. So yeah, this one took a vinegar bath, and then it also got a nice little wash. It is acrylic, so this isn't even really made out of like a great fabric. When I first got it, I thought that it was gonna actually be like maybe wool or something, and I'm glad it wasn't. But yeah, so this one, you know, got all the things, and this one sold for $83.99. Now, I initially listed this, I want to say like at $125 on Poshmark, and then of course send them out a like $100 offer. But I had already had it in my mind that I wasn't going to get anything under $80 for this item, just because this is a really good size for one. The colorway is pretty, the style is kind of in season because it's like that transition. So from summer to fall, and it's just kind of like a cute little sweater dress situation. And I was just like, you know, when is the next time I'm gonna find Tucker-Nuck? So like, this is the item that I talk about how I can be a little bit emotionally invested in it. So this is a great brand, and I know that I can get a good amount for it, then I'm not getting anything under that. So let's say somebody on Poshmark would have offered me $50. I know for a fact that I could at the very least take that $50 offer, because I only paid $1 for the item. However, I know that this item is still sold, so why would I short myself on it? So I seen the ones listed for like $160 or $80, because brand new it was like $225. But I said all that to say I was not emotionally invested, and I already put in my mind how much I was willing to go low on it, and $80 was my lowest. So with this selling for $84, we love that. But I paid 97 cents for it, and I made a total profit of $73.57 after fees and cost of goods. And it was actually a really fast flip. Like, I listed this one, I want to say maybe 3 days ago, and it sold. So we love that. This is actually a J.Jill turtleneck cow neck situation. I don't know, y'all. J.Jill is, I hate to even say this out loud because I'm so scared, but I don't know if she is my girl anymore, y'all. Like, she sells, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I feel like I need to be more and more picky, because before I was just like super loosey-goosey and just picking up anything and everything, and then I noticed that I'm sitting on certain things. Other things sell a lot quicker than the other things, but then I'm just kind of like, okay, I can't really pinpoint it, because naturally you would think the larger sizes are the ones that are flipping quicker, but no, some of the mediums, some of the smalls. And also I know that Love Linen is supposed to be like the most popular. People aren't buying mine. You know, and I think I have multiple Love Linen, and I mean, I guess we are out of season, but when we were in season, it still wasn't getting any hits. So this is definitely a hit or miss, and mostly misses for me when it comes to J.Jill. And I'm gonna really move very cautiously when I find it at the bin, since I do find it a lot, and I just don't want to have a closet full of J.Jill, especially things that nobody wants. So I have to make sure that it is strictly for that season, and the style looks good, and I check the sell-through rate, and just making sure that it actually sells, and it's just not gonna sit and just, you know, rack up dust, if you will. So this one actually sold for $12.73. I paid 90 cents for it, and I made a profit of $10.57. All right, this is that second Domino's jacket I told y'all about. I have a quick little funny story. So this is actually a nylon style, so probably better if you are a delivery driver. I made sure I put that in the title as well. But I had this one listed at, I want to say $19.99, because like I told y'all, that's essentially where they were selling at, was like $19, $20 to, you know, $25. So I priced it, you know, on the lower side, because I wanted to get a little quick $20 bill. But I priced it, and somebody on eBay was like, hey, if you drop the price to $10 or enable best offer, I'll buy this for $10. And at the time, I was running a 20% off sale for my storefront. So I was just like, no. I said, the price listed is actually my lowest for this item, because you act like you're doing me a favor by saying, you know, if you drop the price to $10, I'll go ahead and take it off your hands. It's like, no, I'm good, love. Because I know that this jacket has 100% sell-through rate, and it's selling for $20 to $25. So like, why would I really short myself? Especially when I know that it's literally gonna eventually sell. I didn't know that it was gonna sell as quick as it did, because it sold literally that next morning after this person sent me, you know, that initial offer, because that really wasn't an offer. So I loved it, because that means that the item is no longer there. Somebody already purchased it on eBay, which made it even more sweeter, so he can see that it sold for my full asking price, which was the $16.99 that it was on sale for. So joke's on you, buddy. Should have coughed up that extra $7. But yeah, so this was a really quick flip, because I actually remember listing this within like a week, I want to say. So pretty quick one. So this one sold for $16.99, and I paid 99 cents for it, so I made a profit of $14.36 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is the last piece from eBay, and it is a Vince sweater. Oh boy, this is beautiful. So I picked this one up, and I know that Vince is having a moment of they are just almost irrelevant and out the door. but I still took my chance on it just because it's Vince, you know. And the fact that this was a like alpaca, I want to say that it was wool as well, and the fact that it was a size large, y'all. I really couldn't leave behind with it being a size large. And then the colorway, I feel like when you pick up items that are like tan, brown, like neutral colorways, like they perform so much better. And this one definitely did. Now, it wasn't for as much as I would have liked, but the fact that this one was around that price point that I wanted to sell it for, I was completely okay with. This is probably the worst type of fabric shaver that I've ever had. Like, the blade just doesn't seem like it has anything left. It just needs to die. So I probably need to buy me another one of these ASAP, or just never pick up items that need to be sweater shaved. This one was listed, I want to say, at $65. Like I told y'all before, when I picked up these type of items that were out of season and I knew that they would still do well when they were in season, I priced them high just because I didn't want them to be relisted and then the price, you know, cut too low. And since I have so many items in my closet, it's hard for me to sit here and kind of monitor every single thing, especially on Poshmark when items are being relisted and the prices like being dropped or something of that nature. So I wanted to make sure that I still got a good amount for it. Why am I packaging this like this? I don't like this. So like I said, I had it listed at $65. I was looking to get between $40 to $50 for it, honestly, but y'all already know how Vince is. Like, that you might get that on a good day, let's be honest. But this one actually sold for $39.97 on eBay, and I only paid $1.14 for it, and I made a profit of $34.16 after fees and cost of goods, which, you know, we love. All right, y'all, so this is the only thing that sold on Mercari. It's this handmade vest. Of course, I got this from Vince. And I thought it was so cute. I'm like, oh, this would be perfect for like a granola girl, hippie, boho, all the fun things, because it is handmade. And I thought I would, at the very least, would have got like $15 for it, you know, because it's handmade. Joke's on me. I had it listed at $20, and I sent out really aggressive offers one day. So on Mercari, you were able to kind of filter your items to the ones that have like the most likes, and this was a part of that. These had over like 10 likes. So I actually sent out a very aggressive offer, which was a $10 offer, because I'm like, I just want this thing out the door, because this is very much so a, you know, spring and summer piece, not a winter piece, so I need it gone. And out of the 10 people, nobody accepted it. And I do think it's the simple fact that, you know, people probably don't have push notifications on. They end up coming back a few days later and said, hey, could I get this at $10? And I had noticed that I had already sent out a $10 offer days before, and nobody, you know, got it. So I was like, of course. So I sent them a $10 offer. I didn't think that I was going to be able to, because y'all know how, like, if you send out a specific number, you can't send that one out again. But I was able to, and I was really happy about that. So I like that Mercari has that feature where you can actually, you know, send out an offer through the messages. So we love that. But that is all that I have today. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, entertaining in some way. And if you didn't already like this video, you should go ahead and do that right now before you leave. Don't click off yet, okay? But yeah, subscribe if you want to see more Ship With Me content. So thank y'all so much for tuning in and watching this video. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye.